Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you for joining us on the Wild Rivers Film Festival podcast. This is Bev Juday. I'm one of your hosts on KCIW, and I'd also like to introduce Sue Wright. She's also joining us today. Sue.
Thank you, Bev. And welcome to the Wild Rivers Film Radio. Today we're excited to explore the power of community partnerships in strengthening local arts and culture. One of the Wild River Film Festival's key partnerships is with the historic Redwood Theater in Brookings, which has been a cornerstone of entertainment in the region. We're joined by Scott Larson, the theater's owner, and Donna Fleshman, its longtime manager, to talk about their experiences, the evolving role of local theaters, and how collaboration like ours benefit the community. So welcome, Scott, and welcome, Donna.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So just a little bit of history. We'd like to get to know you better. Donna, you've been working at the Redwood Theater for 15 years. Could you share just a bit about your experience and some of the major changes you've seen in the theater industry and the local movie-going culture?
It's actually when I first started, the movies were all on those big, huge 50-pound reels that you had to tote up the stairs. You had to put them together. They would slide off the reels. They would get jammed, and it would look like the place was on fire. Now the movies are satellite in. I go to the computer. I do my thing. And so I don't have a physical movie, which is actually nice. And it's not heavy at all. So it's just super easy. It's a little time consuming, but I did actually make a mistake the other day, but I caught it, where I put a horror movie on the front of a cartoon as a trailer. And I was like, what is all that screaming in there? And because I have to proof the movie before I show it. And I went right in, stopped it, deleted that clip, and saved a bunch of children from being traumatized.
You were a hero, a superhero.
Yeah, so it is definitely changed. And I think our clientele has changed since COVID. It used to be a lot of elderly people would come out always during the day. And then I think once COVID hit, clearly they stopped coming out. And then they just didn't really come back. So our clientele's a little younger. The teenage kids with mom's debit card and stuff. And so our movies have also changed. But we try to get out. We have a lot of requests, and we try our best to, get the movies that the local community want. We can't always get it, and sometimes we can't get it right at the beginning, but we could always get it, a couple weeks down the road.
So our locals could come into the theater and say, we really want to see this in the theater, and you would look at...
Well, I get a lot of emails, or they'll leave a message and say, hey, I'm really interested in this movie. And so then we put it in as a request and see if it will do well in our community and stuff. And so we do try our best to please the masses out there. But we have a lot of hoops that we have to jump through in order to just get a movie. It's not just, we want this movie here next week. There's a lot of behind the scenes that Scott does and stuff to get them there. So
okay, and you have a website with what's coming and what's playing and when it's playing. And I thought, I turned my phone on.
We have a newsletter that's sent out every week, what we're playing, the times we're playing, and then a lot of times if we know ahead of time what movies we have coming up. And then we also have on Facebook and Instagram, and then we have our email address. And then you can always just do old school, make a phone call, or stop by.
That works.
Yeah.
What kind of, is there a particular genre that our community likes that you try to bring in?
We try to do family, because it is a family theater, so we're not going to do anything, risque. We do, a lot of the movies are rated R, but they're rated R for violence in language. Just it's kind of a mixture. I mean, the younger kids like horror movies. I'm partial to cartoons. So we just try to get, a mixture and whatever's out there. So.
Okay, great. Scott, you purchased this historic theater at a challenging time right after COVID. Can you tell us a bit about the Redwood Theater's history and your vision for the future?
Sure, Sue, and thank you for having us here. We're always pleased at the Redwood Theater to come out and join community events like this. And we are 1,000% supportive of the Wild River Film Festival, and we have been since day one. So I think this partnership is something that is of huge value. And the reason really being is when I came to Brookings first, I took a walk down the Chetco, and I stopped right in front of the theater, and I said, this is a theater that I would like to buy. And it just happened to be the time that the Beemans were selling the theater. And so I really, really believe there's no such thing as coincidence. Things are there for a reason. And so we went in contact with the Beeman family, who is an absolute pleasure. All of the kids and just their custodianship of that old 1909 gem. And we made the purchase. And I've got 4 kids, and so it's sort of one family going into another family. But really, it's 2 families. It's the Fleshman family, and then, of course, my family, the Larson family, with all the kids. And they really enjoy that. My daughter works there. But the vision really is, it's where it is located and the fact that it's got 2 theaters. It's got a large performing stage. It's got stage lighting, 220 seats in the main and 38 plus a little restaurant there. It's something where we really want the community to feel free to come use it. And so that's when the Wild River Film Festival came and talked to us. That is exactly the type of thing that we want to respond to. We look at it, I'm not the owner, I'm the custodian.
Okay.
And someone will come in and purchase it after us at some point, and hopefully it'll be a family, and they'll be the custodian for that next generation. And so whether it's a city event, whether it's something for the schools, which use it a lot, whether it's a graduation ceremony or another ceremony, debating, screening of films, really that is something we are always going to say yes, yes, yes to, which is what we love. But we do need to show the studio films on our set days. The studios can be a little bit tough with us. And as Donna alluded to, we request all first run movies the week that they come out, because we don't believe Brookings should be second tier to anyone. And so I spend hours on the phone with the studios convincing them that we want these movies at the same time that Los Angeles or New York get these movies. We should be no different. And how do we get it? And I just don't give up. So we're really pleased at what we can pull in. We can't do it all the time. But we welcome that. As Donna said, we've got a website, we've got phone numbers. I was just in Cascade, Home Improvement, and I've got another request for a movie, and it looks like a great one. So we really want the community to feel like it's something that we can bring to them.
It's so fascinating that on the one hand, you're like first-run movies, and on the other, you're community-oriented. And I think last year you had the high school jazz concert in the theater, right?
Correct.
So
we really want more. So the purpose of us kind of coming on today, Donna and I really want the community to reach out and say, how can we use that resource? So it's ours. It's all of ours, every person in Brookings. And so we don't make judgments on content, right? We don't censor content. And outside, we have our statement on free speech, and we feel very strongly about upholding that constitutional right. So we welcome all viewpoints. We're just the venue. So again, we welcome the community into this old 1909 gym.
And it's a lovely venue because in addition to the theater and the cafe, you have the deck next door for a sunny day where you can watch a sunset. It's just a wonderful downtown.
Well, and we're also trying to support the community. So we've sort of taken out some of the big, U.S. foods and whatnot, and we've replaced them with Honeybee Bakery. So we buy local. Mm-hmm. Railroad Market has great sandwiches, which you can get there. Wild River Brewing, we bring in their products here. Agnes
store brownies that are phenomenal.
So we're really trying to bring in what's local here and make it even a stronger local venue.
And the popcorn's really good, too.
I'll let Donna talk about popcorn.
Our popcorn is pretty fabulous, and we actually sell a lot of it to people that just take it home.
Uh-huh.
And I had the cutest. I had a guy come, and he was so nervous, and he said, "I have the oddest request for you." And I was like, "Oh, great!" And he said, "My wife is pregnant, and she really wants popcorn." And he said, "You're going to be a fabulous dad." And got him popcorn, and he took it home to his pregnant wife. So,
that's
yeah.
Wonderful. So, Scott, independent theaters face unique challenges. And you've already begun to talk about how partnering with organizations like Wild Rivers Film Festival supports local theaters and keeps them thriving. Is there anything else that you would like to add to that?
Yeah, sure. We've done some unique things. We've got our Treehouse, which is a venue that folks can rent, which we encourage. We have our advertising. And so I cannot say enough about all of the support we get from the community on advertising on the big screen. That really goes a long way to us keeping the doors open. And so thank you to those who, from across the board, locally here that advertise with the theater on a monthly basis. It is sincerely appreciated. Plus, it's a great way. I think we get 15,000 views annually for a pretty reasonable rate. So that on-screen advertising really allows us to do a lot of the things that we just couldn't do otherwise. And that's staying open, making the improvements that everybody expects us to make in what you said, a very challenging time. You can get this stuff streaming. So, and the studios don't make it easy on us. They start streaming in 2 weeks, 3 weeks after opening day. So it makes it really hard for us, to pull those folks in. But we do appreciate it. It is a nice social outing to bring the kids and get out of the house and see a movie on the big screen and not just the little TV.
It is very different, the theater experience, I have to say. And that's how we got started with the Wild Rivers Film Festival, is we really wanted people to come back together in the community for an event and to see a film on the big screen. And it's also the advertising. When you see the advertising on the big screen, it has a different impact. And it's hard to walk away from it like it is with the TV. So,
well, that's why we're so pleased about the Wild River Film Festival, because I can't tell you how many people who haven't been to the movies in a long time, they get to come see these wonderful films, but they also get to talk to the producers and the actors and get the inside story. And that is something that is very unique. So I think kudos to you all who have worked incredibly hard to bring that to this wonderful town during the summer months when a lot of the tourists can enjoy it too, and start to make this a destination, because I think what you're doing there brings people into the town, and it provides a whole nother dimension beside the natural beauty.
Yes, I think that's always been part of our goal, is to be able to support our hospitality and tourism industry here, as well as providing first-run movies, to provide these films that are brand new out there from around the world. So
it works out well. Can you give us a little idea, Sue, about how many people do we bring in?
So last year we sold and gifted 400 festival passes. We filled over 1,000 seats. It's hard to say exactly how many people we bring in, and we need to improve our tracking for that. We do know that they weren't just from Curry County or even Del Norte County. We had so about 40% of our audience were from around the Pacific Northwest, including Washington, other parts of Oregon, and other parts of California.
It was a lot of fun, and the fact that we can use the theater makes it an amazing experience for all of them.
Well, and I think I'll share too, the film festival is for the community, and so I want to make sure we take that opportunity, because I know on the first year of that, folks walked by and they were interested in it, but they said, "Oh, I can't go in." No, you're welcome. We
Right.
want the community to come in. So out on that deck, when you see something going on, join us, right? This is a community event. So yes, everyone is welcome. It's as simple as walking up like a regular movie, selecting what you want to see and buying a ticket and going on in. and the tickets are incredibly reasonable. So
I have to emphasize that our festival passes are extremely reasonable, especially compared to some of the other major film festivals. Without naming names, they can run hundreds and thousands of dollars, and our VIP festival pass, which gets folks into the happy hours and the after parties and the awards ceremony, it's only $150 right now. So it is affordable, and that's 4 days of films, as many as you can manage to see.
It works out great, and we've found that a lot of the young people in the area, they like the $20 day pass, but it's what's affordable to them. It's not priced out there. It's priced just right. And you guys contribute so much to the experience. When you go into the theater, there's a crowd of people that come in all at once, and you guys handle it amazingly efficiently.
Well, kudos to Donna, because she, and I just stand back, I know enough to be dangerous, as I like to say, what she does with downloading these. I think she gave a quick snippet, but you've got to download this movie electronically. It goes into the computer. You've got to get a key from the studios and match it up. And then you have to problem solve all the issues that could go up. But she had to do that. We usually have 2 films going on and then 2 backup. But with you, there's 40 and 50 films. So kudos again, Donna, and thank you for all you do to make this film festival possible.
It's a little stressful, but a lot of fun, and seeing the people that come in. And I think theater is such a huge thing. My favorite part last year were the classes that you offered for the young kids and the thrill that they had of putting the movie together. And I think Daniel does such a great job with all of that stuff.
And then we hosted their wrap party with their certificates on the deck next to the Redwood Theater. So that was really fun.
The red carpet, the people drive by, and I get so many messages. What's going on? What's going on? And it's like, come on in and see. And I think, people are like, oh, I don't know about this movie. And it's like, you know what? Give it a try. And if it's not your taste, then hop up and go down the hallway to the next one. But there are so many. And I know we talked about maybe doing like a midnight horror movie kind of a thing next year, which is...
I think that's a fabulous idea.
I think people would love it. I will be out in the lobby, but I will get everything going for you, but I will not participate in that part. And I know that the audience loved the questions and answers to the actors and the directors and the producers and stuff, and it makes you feel like you're part of Hollywood. And you can see these because some of the people, you're like, oh, wait, I recognize that name. Oh, I met that person. And they're fabulous about standing in the lobby and taking pictures with people, and even standing on the red carpet. And it makes, you feel like you're part of it. And so I know we had a lot of people, because the first year we had the fire, and so then that took quite a bit to get here. And then last year, every year it just improves. And we get more and more people, a lot of locals. But then you get some of the other people that are like, wait, this should be like in Portland or L.A., not little old Brookings. And it's like, but then it brings people here. And I know I met a lot of people, a lot of the actors and producers and stuff. They're like, oh my gosh, this is the most beautiful area. I want to shoot my next movie here. I want to come back. And
that's our stealth goal.
Yeah. I even offered my kayaks, loaned about my kayaks to some of them, said, come, you haven't lived till you've gone down the Chaco River. And stuff. So I think what you guys are doing for the community is fabulous.
Thank you, Donna.
We hear so much feedback from the filmmakers especially about how welcome they feel in the community. And you talk about bringing your kayaks for people to use and stuff. They said that they never felt so embraced by a community as they do in ours. So thank you, definitely.
Well, actually, in being newbies here, our family, we feel it all the time. It's great. People wave to you, people talk in the store, and not just how are you doing, bye. It's just a great feeling to be in a small town, and there's so many benefits to it. What a great place to raise kids.
It is, for sure. Well, just a quick reminder to the audience out there, you're listening to KCIW. This is Bev Juday and Sue Wright. We're talking with Scott Larson and Donna Fleshman here at the Wild Rivers Film Festival Radio.
So one thing that I'll share with you on the old theater history, if we have a minute.
Oh, please.
Absolutely.
Is when we got into the theater, there's an attic above the top where they have the old curtains and the old stage lighting and whatnot. But if you go into the basement, it is a whole world down there of old seats from 1915, 1920.
Wow.
They have some shocking yellow and green from the 1960s that are still down there. We found ticket rolls of 25-cent tickets back when it was called the Pinecone Theater.
Wow.
Old celluloid film, because if you go up in there, and we can give anyone a private back tour, but we actually have that projector that Donna was referencing. And in the room where they show the movies, the projection room, it's actually steel lined, because way back then, if you've seen the movie Cinema Paradiso, you'll understand. But that celluloid would actually burn. It was very flammable. So you had to have a room that was tin lined for fire hazards. But there is a lot going on in that theater and a lot of history there. We even have a ghost, and I'll let Donna talk about our theater
that
ghost.
That sounds interesting.
Her name is Harriet, and she has a room that Scott redid without her permission. You actually have to acknowledge that she's there. She actually has buttons that I've turned on. I've gone back and they've been shut off. Doors that I've unlocked have been locked. She did not like the first Harry Potter. If there was a problem, it happened during that show. One time, the whole movie slid off the top of the rail. Another time, it jammed. And it, like I said before, it looks like the place is burning and people are screaming the place is on fire. And it's like, it's just the ghost. And you stop and fix it. People have, some of the past employees have been upstairs and seen people downstairs and then run all the way downstairs, and then there's just a seat folded open and nobody there. And then sometimes when you're late at night, you can hear things and you're like, hey, Harriet, it's just me. Just, got to get some popcorn bags. Have a good night. And all the kids, we had a new employee, and he's like, yeah, I just can't do that. And I said, well, you got to. I said, just acknowledge her. And there's a sign that says Harriet's room and stuff. And so everybody that works there, they're like, hey, Harriet. So there was nothing that she didn't do. She must have liked the film festival because she behaved herself. So
that's
goodness.
good to hear.
So that was good. I think she was pleased. Yeah.
Sounds like it's almost a bit of a museum.
I would say it really is. It really is. And we need to work better with the Chetco Museum and get some of these pieces into the museum. But they've got, poor Patty McVeigh has got so much that's already in there. I don't know quite where she'll put it. But we do have things that we'd love to loan to the Chetco Museum, because they sure do great work.
They
and
do.
Their pie contest every year is fantastic. We always love going. And my kids have kind of grown up with it now, but it really is a museum, and again, it belongs to the community. And every time we go into another nook or a cranny, we find something else that's been put into a wall that who knows why it was put in and sealed up, but we pull it out, and it's some other unique find.
Sounds like a filmmaker should make a movie of the Redwood, doesn't it?
It does. There's so many good documentaries we could make here. It's not just a small town with a beautiful scenic coast, but it's a small town with a really long and interesting history.
Yeah, it is.
Sure
it
is.
is. In fact, there's a camera that we found, an old camera, and it looks like it's from 1915, 1920. That is the one where you flip a little metal piece and the light shines through it. But I don't know where you put the film in that or how it goes, but it is really old. It's only about 3 feet by 2 feet. So it's a little guy, but yeah, that is definitely a museum with a lot of interesting things.
Sounds really cool.
Well, going forward, is there anything that you'd like to share with our audience about what's next for the Redwood Theater? Any exciting upcoming events or projects you'd like to let us know about?
We do have the foster program here in Curry County. Every child is doing a free movie over spring break.
Oh, that's important.
Yeah, and they've been advertising. You just have to go on their website and get a free ticket. And we were just contacted actually by the high school. They do a movie for their honor roll students. So we're working the kinks out for that. The elementary school has always done a reward party at the end of the year where we bring in 2 different shifts, like 500 kids, and they get their popcorn and soda. And some of the kids have never been to the movie, and they'll
It's a big day.
Experience and stuff. They get super excited and stuff. And so, yeah, we rent the movie for parties. We rent it for different events. You just, email or give us a call and we'll work something out for you.
And can you let our audience know again where they can get information about what's going on at the Redwood Theater?
The easiest way our website, which is redwoodtheater.com, or our email, which is info@redwoodtheater.com.
Okay.
And that's answered daily. And then you can always call, but those are the easiest ways. And you can sign up for a newsletter. And Scott's daughter, Johanna, does a fabulous job with that, sends that out every Wednesday so you know what we're playing during the weekend and our upcoming events. Yeah.
And this is the way to build community, is to share information about what we're doing and how we're doing it together. So the Wild Rivers Film Festival has a website, wildriversfilmfestival.com. We also have a newsletter. You can sign up for a newsletter there, and you'll know what's going on for us. We have a movie the first Saturday of every month at the Chetco Community Library. The first Saturday in April at 2:00 is 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, in recognition of Elmo Williams, who was an Academy Award-winning filmmaker who made his home here. And Bev,
I'd like to thank you all for joining us today and thank our guests, Scott and Donna, and thank my partner here, Sue Wright. Again, you guys have a great day out there, and be sure to tune in to KCIW often.
and enjoy the sunshine.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.